Hey guys, LevelCap here. Today is Monday, which means it's time for an episode of Loadout, the series where you guys get to pick a custom gun and configuration for me to use in Battlefield 3. The way you do this is you leave a comment down below letting me know what kind of weapon and accessories you'd like me to run with, and I will pick one of the top rated comments for the next episode of Loadout. Today's top comment comes from Golden098. He says, Walking Dead Loadout, Shames N1041, he means N1014, Rick's 44 Magnum, and Daryl's crossbow. Now, considering that this loadout is based on a zombie TV show, it's actually not so bad. The M1014 is great in close quarters, the Magnum can deal with people at medium and potentially even long range, and the crossbow also has the capability of dealing with people at medium range or silently taking them out in close quarters. I even tried it out on some Conquest and Rush maps, and found that although it was a little bit hard to play offensively with this class, it was pretty darn good defensively. I managed to hold up in some good defensive locations, use the crossbow to silently take out a target here or there, and the M1014 really allowed me to hold down some small rooms and then switch to the Magnum if I ever saw somebody at medium range approaching the room. Now, the M1014 can hold its own in close quarters just as well as the Sega 12K or the DAO-12. It shoots at the same rate of fire as the Sega and the DAO-12. However, it does fire one additional pellet per shot than compared to the Sega or DAO. So the DAO-12 and Sega shoot 9 pellets per shot, the M1014 shoots 10 pellets per shot. Considering that each pellet can do a maximum of 18 damage in close quarters, this is fairly substantial, and it will give you slightly better killing potential if you're not perfectly on target in close quarter scenarios. Now, ultimately, the Sega 12K makes up for some of these imbalances without having quite as many pellets per shot by having a magazine reload system and a higher magazine capacity. All things considered, there's nothing to stop either of these weapons from completely clearing out a room. As for the 44 Magnum, at one point this gun was the most powerful handgun in the world. It is still the most powerful handgun in Battlefield 3. It does 60 damage maximum, 30 damage minimum. It drops off to 50 damage at 25 meters, meaning you can still two-shot any opponent with a normal body shot at 25 meters away. And you can one-shot anybody with a headshot at up to 25 meters away. This makes some opponents quite surprised when they come around the corner just to be instantaneously dropped by a pistol. Now, of course, the Magnum only has 6 shots to make up for its amazing power, so you do have to reload the gun relatively quickly. But if you're using it at medium range, like you should be with this build, and you happen to, say, miss 6 shots, or you just run out of ammo because there's too many opponents, you have plenty of alternatives once somebody gets too close to you. You can switch to the shotgun and absolutely wreck them in close quarters, or switch to the crossbow and get a lucky one-shot kill. Now, I just talked about the crossbow in last week's loadout, but just in case you missed that one, the crossbow will one-shot anybody in close quarter combat as long as they're within 20 meters or closer. If you get an upper chest shot, it will one-shot them at up to 35 meters away, and at any range, a headshot will one-shot kill them. That's, of course, talking about the regular bolt for this crossbow, the only one that I really tend to use, just because of its severe power in close quarters. I can't really give up that one-shot ability with the crossbow. 2 shots is pretty much worthless on a gun that has such a long reload time, so the one-shot can be very useful for that quick stealth takedown. As for running this build to its maximum efficiency, it took me a little while to get the hang of it, but after I did get the hang of it, I found certain patterns to be the most effective. One, I would often switch to crossbow in close quarters so that I could get a quick one-shot kill, then immediately after that switch to my shotgun for any follow-up enemies. If and only if I felt like I was really far away from any enemies, I would take the time to reload the crossbow again and then run with it primary. Sometimes you do end up missing that first shot, and you have to get extremely quick at switching to your shotgun so that you can deal with the aftermath of that situation. If you're up against a good player and you miss that first shot, well, then you're going to die anyway. It just teaches you to become more accurate with that first shot, not to miss it, to really make all your shots count. I really did enjoy switching between the 3 weapon types because they are significantly different. The crossbow incredibly unforgiving for missing your shots. The shotgun giving you tons of killing power in close quarters, and you can easily miss a few shots here and there because it fires so quickly. The Magnum, a precise killing machine for medium range, teaches you to aim at the head instead of the body shots to get quick takedowns. And ultimately, it provided a nice variety of gameplay within a single match. You could have that good close quarter action, good medium range, some stealth mixed in there. It was just an interesting way to play. Does it beat an assault rifle? Probably not. Still having a nice solid assault rifle that can deal with long range, medium range, and close quarters all together is still, in my opinion, a better loadout. However, this loadout will get you much better at weapon switching in tight situations and give you an appreciation for the difficulty of, say, the crossbow or even the Magnum. Now, if I were to modify this class setup at all, I would probably get rid of the crossbow. Again, the crossbow is an interesting weapon, but it just really isn't that tactical. It's difficult to use, and you always have to give up one of your utility slots. If you're playing the assault class, you would get a med pack instead of the crossbow. The med pack, in my opinion, is the best device in the game. It heals you, it heals your allies, basically allows you to stay alive for a lot longer in firefights. You throw one down mid-firefight, you can last longer than your opponent because you're getting healed while you're fighting. The M1014 and the Magnum go great together. They can deal with two different kinds of situations, and if you run out of ammo with one, you can always switch to the other to clean up anybody who's left over from a firefight. If you're wondering how I modified the M1014 while I was playing, I was pretty much just using extended mags. Didn't really worry about the sight on there. The iron sight is good enough. If you really want a Cobra or red dot sight, that's fine. As for ammunition type, I would say buckshot all the way. You really just want massive power in close quarters. That's how you should be using the M1014. That's how I like to use it. Can't go wrong with buckshot. There are some advantages to flechette here and there. It can penetrate more materials, but again, I just like the pure destructive power of buckshot. That pretty much wraps it up for this episode of Loadout. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Some people have made comments that they want something a little more tactical in these loadouts and less thematic. That's fine. I generally don't pick any sort of troll loadouts, but if you guys want something more tactical, you guys are going to have to upvote them. I look at the top rated comments, and that's what I pick from. So thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you next time. This is LevelCap signing off.